Monday morning and again all day yesterday. He has reported significant progress, but there's still ways to go. From the government's perspective, we've said from the very beginning that we wanted a negotiated settlement on this. We have no illusions about how difficult it is asking the public services to make a further contribution. But I think people across the public service now, from the detailed talks we've had, understand that we need to make this further adjustment. It guarantees the security of tenure for people in the public service once we have this done for the duration of the agreement. And it is necessary because the finances of the state are still in a perilous state. And people know that.
Are pay cuts still on the table, legislation for pay cuts if the deal isn't done?
There will have to be legislation in any event. The structure of the alternatives that the government is considering are known. They will include pay cuts for anybody over 65,000. Obviously, we have to make contingency plans, and I've had discussions over the last number of days. In fact, since the end of the ballot with the Attorney General's office, because one way or the other we have to make these savings. We want to do it in a way that we have agreement, that we can continue the absolute essential reforms that are necessary in the public service, and I think it's possible to do all of that. So I want to brief the Cabinet today on everything that's happened in the last number of days, and we'll make a collective decision then on the next step forward.
How much more time can you give it?
Well, it's not a matter of concessions with unions or anybody else. It's a matter of negotiating a methodology to find the necessary savings. I've said from the beginning, I'm not prescriptive about how those savings are to be made, and in fact, workers on the front line often know best how those savings are to be achieved. The one prerequisite is that it has to be done in a fair way. It is demonstrably fair. And I know that different sectors have different views on what constitutes fairness. Often it means impositions greater on other people than on themselves. But objectively, we need to be able to make these savings in as balanced a way as is possible, which means that everybody will make a contribution according to their capacity to make a contribution.
How much more time can you give it, Minister?
Well, you know, the time frame is that we need to make the deductions of 300 million this year. There are various ways of doing that. The LRC proposals envisage that we would start making the proposals from the 1st of July. There is no date in my head that is immutable, as long as the savings of the order that I've outlined are made. It's the contribution to the sustainable path we need as a country, that we can make plans for our public services in confidence, that people can make spending plans with public servants in confidence, and we'll have job security, and that's a much better place to be in than uncertainty. And I think that's part of the reason that people have genuinely engaged, particularly over the last number of days. All right?
Thank you.